Hey, happy people. So today we are going to be making hey, happy people. So today we are going to be making egusi. We are going to make something from the continent of Africa. I love looking for dishes in Africa. I think they have a wide variety of stuff, and usually I like some of the stuff. I have had egusi before, but this is long before being vegan and definitely long before trying to be alkaline. So today we are going to try to alkaline egusi. So let's see if we can do this. So first thing I need to do here is I need to make the pepper sauce. And with the pepper sauce here we have 2 red bell peppers, 4 Roma tomatoes, and this is 1 small onion. It should be just a half onion, but it was a small onion, so we're just going to do the 1. And we're going to add a little water to this. So we're going to blend this up. Probably. Let's see if I can. Okay. Alright, just enough space there. I guess if I added the water, that might help, right? We're just going to add just... oh man, totally got the water. I'm wondering, like, why is it not blending? Just enough water to get it to blend down. We don't want it to be too runny, just enough. Alright, I think that is good enough. I don't have any large chunks, so that's good. Alright, now, if you're doing this and you have 1 blender, oh, y'all, Oscar, my original Oscar, family died after we retired it. After we got the Ninja, I was still using it for some things, but Oscar just said, girl, I got to go because you just ain't gonna stop. So Oscar died, so now we have a new Oscar, Oscar 2.0. Because I did keep the cup from the first Oscar and it fits on this one, I don't have to go pour this out, wash it, and then use it again. So if you do, I'm sorry. Or you have 2 blenders. If you like me, you try to keep 2 on hand because you blend up a lot of stuff. So moving on. So now we got that blended. So now we have to make our egusi paste. And let's open this. Alright, so egusi paste. They usually use some kind of dried shellfish like crawfish or shrimp, or well, not shrimp. I haven't seen too many recipes with the shrimp, but like, what is it? Like crawfish and prawns. That's what it is. Crawfish and prawns. But we are not using any seafood, so today we are using lobster mushrooms. These are dried mushrooms. This is about a cup of them. They are dried lobster mushrooms, so we're going to add that first into the blender, and we're going to blend that up because usually their crawfish is grounded down. So we're going to do that first. Maybe a little. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to say that's pretty good. While that dust is settling, next is our Egusi seeds. Egusi is a melon. These are the seeds from the melon. They're, let me show you here. Seeds like that. What is that? Don't want that. Alright, so as you can see, very thin, flat, light colored seed. It's kind of crispy. I tasted it. It doesn't really have a taste to it. I think they use it basically as a thickener for your soup. But this is what Egusi seed looks like before it's ground. But if you are making this dish, I've seen it done where they just poured the Egusi seed into the blender and blended it too. But I have also seen where people have already had the powder. I grounded mine down already to save some time here. So I have 2 cups of Egusi grounded seed right here, and we're going to add this to our blender too. Quite messy today, but hey, that's what I do. Alright, we got a half an onion here. That was a large onion. The other one was a small one, so. Alright, and we're going to add a water this time. Just a little bit there at first, and we'll just see how that go. And we just blend it down into a paste. We do not want it to be a full-on liquid like your red pepper sauce. So, I probably should have did it the other way around. I don't know. I'm going to add a little bit more water because that just soaked that right on up. Alright, so while I'm trying to get this into a paste, I will run the ingredients right here so you guys will know what they are and the measurements. This is how I killed the other Oscar, if y'all don't know. Doing stuff like this. Putting the powders at the bottom without liquid. And then running my blender. I'm horrible at it. I'm sorry, Oscar. I don't want it to be too thick, so I'm trying to measure this. A little bit more. Just to make sure my onions are all blended up in there. Okay, that is a paste. I want y'all to see that. Alright, so take a tip from me. Put about a 1/4 cup of water at the bottom first before you pour your powder or your seeds in there. So, you know, give your blender a break. Don't be so harsh on it like me. Alright, so now we are finished with those two. Set those to the side here. Now, there is the mushrooms I am going to use to replace the meats and our egusi. Usually there's like smoked meats. They have usually a seafood and then some kind of smoked meat or just some meat in general. But mostly I noticed that it's usually like a smoked meat. So they usually have like a smoked seafood, something like a mackerel or something like that. And then they have like a smoked chicken, smoked turkey, I haven't seen smoked beef. Smoked chicken, turkey, goat, things like that. The meats of their land, should I say. But I am not using any animals, so I have here some smoked mushrooms. This is my smoked portobello and my smoked trumpet mushrooms. I am going to show you guys, I did a clip before because this I did dehydrate 2 days ago just to already have this done. So while I clean this up, I'm going to show you the clip of how I dehydrated them and what seasonings I used for that. So there you go. Alright, so our mushrooms have been marinating now for about 8 hours and they are all nice and juicy. So now, to absorb some of this liquid out of this, we're going to dehydrate them instead of just draining or squeezing it or sauteing it to the heat evaporates it. We're going to dehydrate these because a lot of smoked meats, they're dried because they have been smoked. So we're going to dehydrate this to replicate that as much as possible. So here we go. Dehydrated tray. Now relax. Alright, so now I am going to put these in the dehydrator and they are probably going to go for probably for the rest of the night, overnight. I'm not going to turn the heat up too high. I don't want them to be really crispy. Like I say, I want it to be more like a smoked meat. So I want the inside to still have some flex and softness to it. So my dehydrator is probably going to be in the, I don't know the temperature, but in the middle. If you have an Excalibur, you know when you turn the knob, it's going to be straight down. That, and I'll just continue to check on them because like I say, I don't want them to be too crispy. Just maybe the edges and absorb the liquid there so the flavors will be concentrated. Alright, so we'll be back after this. Alright, so you guys saw how I made the mushrooms there, dehydrated them. So now what we're going to do is we have to now start our soup. So usually they use a red palm oil in their recipes, but because I am not sure that palm oil can be put in the box of the Dr. Savory nutritional guide, like it checks off all the marks there, so we're just going to go with our own annatto oil. our own homemade natural oil. And we're going to pour that in our pot here. Do too many things at one time. And I do have my pot on high, but I'm going to turn it down a little bit here to like a medium. Oh, I do not want to set that down right there. Natural oil stains everything. Alright, and we're going to pour our onions in because I do believe our pot is hot enough. And for their locust beans, we all know if you're if you are following a nutritional guide, Dr. Sadie's nutritional guide, there is no locust bean. The only bean would be the chickpea. But I did not want to use a chickpea because when I researched the locust bean, it has more of a, I would say closer to an olive than a bean. So for me, we are going to use black olives to replace the locust bean. I'm going to pour that in there. We're going to cook this until the onions are translucent. Alright, so our onions have cooked down there, so now we're going to add our garlic. This is our not so garlic mix, alkaline not so garlic, and we're going to add that in there. Give that a good stir. And we have our alkaline tomato paste. We're going to add that. Alright, so now we're going to add our seasonings here. We got our, I am substituting the African bird pepper. Yeah, nope, y'all know me if you've been watching. But I am going to try habanero. Like I'm going to substitute the African bird pepper for the habanero powder. So I have that, some sea salt, and no moo alkaline bouillon. We are going to put that in there. Get that all mixed up here. Alright, and we got our broth here. Usually they use like a beef stock or a chicken stock or something like that. Today I am using, this is mushrooms and green bell pepper broth. Alright, and we're going to let this come to a nice boil here before we start adding our other stuff. That didn't take long. Alright, so now we're going to add our pepper sauce here. Oh. The bottom went on tight enough. Get this all stirred up here. Alright, so now I'm going to cover this and just let it cook for about 5 minutes here. Clean up my mess, and then we'll come back and add our egusi paste. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, I am back. It has been about 10 minutes here, and I am boiling here, so we are going to now add our egusi paste. As I see, you do not stir this in, you just kind of drop it in, spoonful, or if it's not as thick as mine, you can just pour it in, but you don't stir it into the pot. So I'm just going to drop spoonfuls here. Small spatula. Alright, that's enough of that. Now, you're just supposed to cover this and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Do not stir. Alright, it has been 5 minutes here and we have been boiling. So now we're going to take the lid off and now we can stir it. So, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's kind of turned into like that. It's not so runny. Well, it wasn't runny at first, so. Alright, so now we're going to stir it in. I'm going to turn down this heat a little bit so I don't get popped too much. Too much. Ooh. Alright, so got that all stirred up together. So now we're going to add in our mushrooms for our meat substitute here. You guys, even if you don't make this egusi, make these mushrooms. They are so good, it's just a snack by themselves. Like, I had to make some extras because I was just tearing these suckers up. Alright, so now add our mushrooms. Alright, so we're going to let this cook down for about 5 minutes here. Give our mushrooms time to soften up, soaking up some of that juice there. And I have already turned my heat down to a low, so 5 minutes and I'll be back again. Alright, it has been 5 minutes here, so now we're just going to take the lid off here. I did stir occasionally in between just to make sure that it wasn't sticking to the bottom, but I think my mushrooms should have absorbed some of the liquid now so they won't be as hard. Now we're going to add our greens. Usually they add bitter leaves, which is native to Africa, but I could not find any here, so we are going to substitute the bitter leaves for arugula and some watercress. We're going to use both of those in place of the bitter leaves today. Alright. Mix that in there. And can you guys see that? See what it looks like there? Alright, so we're going to let our greens wilt down for a couple of minutes here. I'm gonna go find Happy, see if we can get him to do a taste test, because we are all done. Oh, you know what? Couple of things. Okay, so the not so garlic, the no moo bouillon, the alkaline tomato paste. If you don't have those, I don't know why you don't, because you probably have never seen one of my videos. But you can go to MrStayHappy.com to pick those up. If you don't have the no moo bouillon and you're making this, you could probably use some mushroom powder. Make your own tomato paste. What else? The not so garlic, you just gotta get that. Like, you just need that in order to substitute your garlic. That is just about it on that. Make sure you like this video, because now you have a substitute for egusi soup, and share so other people can see the substitute for egusi soup, and it's all alkaline. Subscribe if you are not a subscriber. Come on, welcome to the happy family. What else can I say? Drop a comment. Let me know how you make yours. If you've made an alkaline version before, tell me what you did differently than me and how you cooked it. If you make this, definitely tell me if you like it or not, if it works for you. Number 3, your mushrooms. Any mushroom that you want to use, just dehydrate them. That's your main thing. Make sure you season them and dehydrate them. Definitely use some kind of smoke something, whether it be liquid smoke, smoked sea salt. Alright. So we are all done. I'm going to turn that off. You guys can see that. And I'm going to go find him. I'll be back. Alright, I am back. I have found Happy. And we are going to taste test our egusi. So let's see if our alkaline egusi lives up to it. I don't think, have you ever had egusi before?
No.
Alright, so I did before, but like I said, a long time ago, so we're going to see how good it tastes. Alright, here we go. It's kind of hot, honey. So.
Yeah, I see it's still bubbling. Tastes
A
pretty
little
good.
of that mushroom there.
It tastes good.
I like that. That is good. I like the smokiness with the smoked mushrooms and the sea salt that is with the tomato. The egusi seed is soft. It's not gritty. I thought it was going to be kind of gritty.
No, it's good. It's just hot.
It's always hot. We eat it straight off the stove. Oh yeah.
But it's good though.
Definitely a good substitute for the real thing. I don't think any African would really complain. They might, but I don't think the complaint would be too bad. 'Cause this is good. Alright.
Yes, it is. I like it very much for Africa.
Thank you, Africa, for such an amazing recipe. Alright, so we are all done here. It is good. Try this out, people. Let us know what you think. That is it. And until the next video, stay happy.
All my stress.